hot diggity dog. It took the M to turn it, but we got her now. I don't want to run away from it and run the barrel over. She said, "Ho, cut it off." I guess it's full. I'm going to show y'all what I got going on here. This is the International number 10 auger wagon. Trying to disassemble it. I'll tell you what. IH put some good gears on these things because I got a lot of pressure on that. We're gonna put the acetylene torches on it, and I've been beating and banging. The only reason I ain't just cut that gear off is because I needed to go back after I put the new bearing in there. But IH made some good bevel gears because that thing's got a lot of pressure on it there with them double wrenches like that plus the heat. Harbor Freight gear puller good too. This is crazy. I had to call the wife for reinforcement on this one because I had to pull her on there. The crazy part about this is you can see where I've heated that thing black along with this piece here. That thing was stuck. That's a tough gear there. Watch your fingers hot now. Okay. I beat on it, I put everything I could put on it with the puller and stuck a chisel in there and kept beating it. Then it finally started wiggling. Here's the crazy part. This is the one right beside it. Same size auger, same everything. No heat, no nothing. Look at here. Slide right off. Ain't that crazy? With your hand. That's crazy right there, look at that. Slid right off with my hand. You can see it ain't no heat been on that one. That's crazy. Well, she did all the wire brushing, so stay tuned. She's gonna do all the painting too. She's putting the first coat on there with the brush, white, basically using it as a primer, basically. But we're gonna put the final coat with Case IH iron. Yeah, that's Iron Guard, the white. But stay tuned. All the galvanized gonna be white, and the wheels gonna be white. The bottom half and the railings and all gonna be red. pipe got a dent in it. I gotta get the dent knocked out. The final coat on these wheels here. It's a half an ounce of hardener. This is Case IH Iron Guard paint she's putting on there. A half an ounce of hardener, whatever hardener you choose to get. Probably got their own brand, but we use Magic. I ain't see nothing wrong with that hardener. But she's putting the final coat of that IH cream white Case Iron Guard paint with a half an ounce of hardener to 8 ounces of paint. And my project's over here. Getting ready to hang that back up in there. Get the old plate and all welded in there. Like this one. That there, free as a bird. Got that inside right. Got to do this side now. We're going to stick that in there. And then bolt the bearing in there. Then slide it back off and get it fitted. Coming on along. Don't laugh. I got that scrap hooked to this vise, holding pressure on this auger, because some dummy, might have been me, drove the bearing up on there. He didn't think about putting the gear on there, so it had to come back off. And then the auger was just bouncing when I smacked it with the center punch with the hammer, so it was just bouncing, so I wrapped that strap around it to keep tension on it to while I hit it, and now it's going back. Yeah, some dummy drove the bearing on there and didn't put the gear on as I was doing it. So here we are. Well, got this much done. I just got to finish putting the bolts in there. Me and the wife's getting ready to go drown us a piece and wearing. She's going to do some more wire welding this week. And get Napa to get me a nose cap bearing. The bearing I got will not work. To put the cap back on that end. Oh, this turns good. She got the top, she got the wheels painted, and she got a little more wire welding to do. She's gonna do all the painting. So I'm gonna do the mechanic work. I'm gonna do the mechanic work and the welding, fabricating, and she's gonna do the paint. But got all this together finally with new bearings in it. Got it all bolted together. I could have been a little bit close on my gears, but I believe that'll roll there. It's hard to get that right after you welded a whole new plate in there. Anyway, stay tuned. Well, got it primed up. This is the wife's painting project. I'm doing other stuff while she's doing the painting. Get an example here. I assembled everything, done all the bearings and all that good stuff, but it's all different color primer because I'm using up a lot of paint I got around here that's left over. This brown oxide paint was left over from my 140 last year, so we got rid of the rest of that. I had some silver that was left in some cans, so we got rid of that because we ran out the brown oxide. But she's getting ready to put some red Case IH paint on it. We tried it without primer. Hey, the paint's really thin. That didn't want to work out. It took 8 coats to cover the metal up. Cream white on this here. But she's coming through the back door here now. She's going to mix up some of that with some hardener and get after that. I'm getting ready to put my extensions on the top here. Go around the top and get it covered in. Ready to do some painting, honey? Yeah. All right, stay tuned. We found out the hard way on trying to measure paint to put hardener in it, because say we don't spray a whole gallon or brush a whole gallon at a time, so we do 8 or 16 ounces at a time. But it's a half. Did you already put the hardener in it? Mm-hmm. A half an ounce. Well, got a tablespoon or a teaspoon.
trail.
Half a tablespoon for 8 ounces of paint is what the ratio comes out at. She's paintbrushing this. We'll get on a spray gun on the next project, but we're doing case iron guard on this one. There's like just to see if it'll last longer outside. We'll get new decals for it too. But it's a half an ounce for 8 ounces of paint, I think is what the ratio came out to. That's what we're using anyway. Just put it on the scale. Put it on the scale and pour the paint in until she hit 8 ounces, and then put a half an ounce. And if you're mixing 16 ounces at a time, do one ounce to 16 ounces. If you busted it down, you're supposed to put this whole thing in a gallon. That's about what it comes out to. 1 ounce of this to 16 ounces of paint. Stay tuned. Getting ready to get in there and try to straighten this side up and start putting lag bolt in my sideboards at the top on there. That's a task getting in this thing. She got one coat on. She's gonna put one more coat on. She's putting a second coat on now. I'm ready to get up in y'all. I gotta lay a pallet on the inside of this so I can walk down the pallet to get in there. Got a rubberized coating I put in there. But this is what it's gonna look like on the white. That's our first one, so don't pick on it too bad. None of all this one herself. They're gonna come back and paint in the red at the bottom. And the wheels here. Pick these tires up for $20 a piece at a tire shop. She wire wheeled them down, painted them, and put new tires on it. One of these tires got a tube in it because the valve stem wasn't sealed because they had a rust hole around it. That one doesn't got a tube in it. I got them tires $20 a piece, and I got everything mechanically sound on it. I'm gonna put the PTO shaft on a little bit. That's laying over in the corner, and I don't think we'll get to it today, but I'm going to get that super sack of feed in there in the next day or two. Hopefully. We got some new decals we're gonna put on that too. Stay tuned.
My 2 bodyguards, 3 bodyguards, pugs outside. So I was talking to James, and he was talking about he's gonna be real late getting in. He need to get these tires on his trailer. So I come put them on for him. Yes, they are on backwards. That's the way the tires want it when we got it. When I put them on the right way, they were rubbing and just painted it. Didn't want that to happen, so he told me to leave them like that since that was the way they were on there. Maybe that's why. Now, mind you, I'm doing all this in a waiting knee surgery, May 7th, for my knee. It was supposed to have been done in March, but they can't do it because my doctor's mother passed away, and he had to go out of the country. But his tires are on, so that's one less hassle he has to do. Love you, baby. I was talking to James. He was talking about how ladies coming in. He need to put the tires on the trailer, so I done it. It won't easy. Yes, they look like they're on backwards. They are, because the other way, they were scraping the side. And with that paint, didn't want to do that. So I had to put them on that way, which that's the way they came here. When we got it, that's the way the tires were on it. Probably that's why. But he don't have to come home and put tires on the trailer. Love you, baby.
Well, wife's almost done painting. We are getting ready to put our feed in this thing for the first time. Ain't that a sight? Feeding pigs like 1953. No, 59. Feeding pigs like 1959. She got to do a little more paint. She ain't done. We're trying to get that super sack of feed in here before it gets dark. Cuz is on the way over here with the backhoe. We're going to stick that up there and pull the cord on it. Then I'm hoping I'm going to circle it back in there and make sure the auger is going to work fine. Anyway, stay tuned. Hot digging it down. It took the M to turn it, but we got her now. I don't want to run away from it and run the barrel over. She said, "Ho, cut it off." I guess it's full. Big 8-inch, that 8-inch auger coming out the side. That 140 wouldn't do nothing with it. Yeah, hold your hand in it. Hold your hand in it. That's it. All right, we are finished with the number 10 IH auger wagon.
All except for the stickers
waiting on the stickers. She left him a message at Maple Hunter, and it's the IH sticker that goes here, and then McCormick number 10 goes on here. I might get some more videos later when we fill up barrels back up. But the wife did all the painting. She did all the painting, the priming, and all of the wire wheeling and sanding, and mounted the tires. I got a short clip of her mounting the tires, and I'm gonna have to add that in there. She mounted it. She took the tires off, cleaned them up, wire wheeled all 4 sides, and took the tires to the tire shop, had them mounted. Well, I mounted one of them here at the house, but the other one had to have a tube in it, so the tire shop just put a tube in it because I couldn't get it to seal around the bow stem. But anyway, one's tubeless, one's not tubeless. This is not really gonna see on highway use. This is where it's gonna be parked, behind the end, down here in the corner of the hog pen. And we're gonna fill up our barrels out of it. This is the cheapest hog feed I can get. And I can go get shelled corn with this, or I can have hog feed delivered, because it will hold 3 tons now. All right. She did all the wire wielding. She, like I said, she took the tires to town, had them mounted, then brought them back home. She painted them before we put tires on, of course. Then she brought them back home and mounted them on the buggy by herself. And she done all the wire wielding and all the cleaning on the whole thing, got all the rust off of it. I did the inside. I'll show you that in a minute. I'll climb up here and I'll show you the inside. The dog's like a little bit of hog feed too, looks like. But then it got dusty, but it came out exceptional. What took so long was this piece back here. I don't want y'all to thinking I'm sitting there asleep in the house watching TV while she was working. No, that ain't how it was. This right here was a mess. Now, I did not get this back to factory. It's not. That's what's left of the old factory gearbox that the bearing is in. And I just trimmed it up some and I had to cut a new steel plate in here and weld it into an L, because that's a support for this. This was all cracked all to pieces, broke up. It's got a flap in here, and that flap slings it up to this 8-inch auger here to bring it over there. All right, I got to put some grease on that, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna grease it, put some grease on the gears as I'm doing it. We just test run it for the first time right here. But that was the booger was fitting all of this stuff together, because it's got to come out perfectly on your spacers and shims and stuff. And some of the stuff got cut with the torch, and when you got to remove that bearing, it has to be beat on with a chisel, and you got to do this piece first, and then I had all of this off, completely off. So I did this piece first, and then I did this piece and set the auger down on here, down on there with the gear and all, and bearing at the same time. That's what took so long. And I scabbed some metal down through there all the way. I got a leak. I got to fix the little leak at the bottom. I see where it's at. I got to fix that leak. But
I'm gonna get this stuff.
I know where that leak is at. I got to put a little piece of, well, not no metal. I got to put a few screws on it. All right. She trimmed in the metal bracing back here red with the white. All that came out excellent. I put these boards on here, these 2x12 extensions on it, and those are lag bolted in from the bottom of the metal. They're lag bolted straight up. Then it screws in here. Well, it was metal corner plates here. Let me stand up here and I'll show you what I got going on with that. All right. These metal plates here was on the top, on the corner, and I moved them from up here to lock the wood in. All right. This stuff here is Rust-Oleum. It's Rust-Oleum stuff. It's a rubberized coating. I put that in here to keep the feed from eating up the metal just sitting in here. All right. We put a 1-ton bag of feed in here. So it'll hold 3 tons with no problem. So the wife's gonna get us another bulk bag, and we're gonna get it dumped in here. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much everything in here. All right. Rubberized coating on the whole thing on the inside. Like I said, all of this siding is lag bolted up, screwed in from the side, and then I move these corner plates from here to up here. So it's locked in sturdy. All right. We walk on back around, and we're just gonna roll the barrels over to it. We hand feed our breeding stock every morning and every afternoon. I do it in the morning, she does it in the afternoon. All right. I put eye bolts on all of the corners. We got a commercial grade. This is for now. We got a commercial grade cargo tarp for like big trucks that we're gonna put on it and strap it down with 8 straps. We may put a metal roof on it, but keep in mind I'm putting super sack bulk bags in here, so I need something that I can remove fairly easily and quickly. So I think the tarp's gonna be the best for now. But I'll get a video clip after we get it tarped down and strapped down. That little chain is for to hook the drive shaft up if you pull it down the highway or something. Unless I go pick up some shell corn with it, it's not gonna get on the highway. It's gonna stay right here in the yard. Because she's gonna bring the super sack back either on the trailer or in the back of the truck, and we're gonna take the backhoe and to set them up. Then I cut the bottom of them. We're gonna do it that way, or they're gonna deliver it to the house. They'll deliver as long as they can drop off 3 tons. But you enjoy the video. I'm gonna put in the bits and pieces ahead of all of this to show you some of the work as we were doing it. We didn't video all of it. We videoed a bit in the piece here and there. We didn't do all of it. Trying to get the wife over here to smile at this thing here with how pretty this thing looks. That metal, white metal, was galvanized. gray. And I said, I think the white and red looks great together. We thought about painting the wood red, red, white, red, and then white again, but I don't think you're supposed to paint pressure treated wood, and the wood don't look bad like that. You get in the camera, smile, or you don't want to. No, you don't want to. Well, the red, all the paint and the metal prep and all that was her doing. I did all the welding and the bearings and then on the inside and the woodwork. But she had her hands full with the tires and the wheels and all the rest of the metal work. Anyway, thanks for watching. A little clip with the M pulling it. The M's gonna stay hooked to this till I get the 230 going. I might hook the 230 to it. My 140 would not turn that auger. It would turn it until it started filling that auger up. Once it filled that big auger, 8-inch auger up, it fell on its face. But it will probably do it with shelled corn or wheat or something like that. It will probably do it. It won't do something that's light. You run your fingers through corn and you can sift right through it. You can't sift through that feed like that. It's a lot more heavier, more dense. But that 140 wouldn't turn it once it got filled up. It'll moan this M here slightly at an idle. But now the 140 wouldn't turn it at all. Not even at full throttle. I put it full throttle and popped the clutch and it shed the pin off in the drive shaft up here. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is the IH number 10 auger card. Congratulations, honey. You did a wonderful job. That's what it looks like on top. A little wrinkle in there. That's what it looks like on top. The water should shoot right off the back. That's where we come up with a cover for it. Like I said, we're gonna dump bulk bags over in there, 1-ton bulk bags. So we need something fairly simple, quick, and light to get on and off of it. So this is strapped down, pulled down on all 8 corners. The wind ain't gonna blow it off. How long this thing lasts, I don't know. We're just going to keep check on it. We're going to check on it every so often. Make sure it ain't getting no tears or anything in it. But that's a finished product. That's what we're gonna store our feed in, and that's what we're gonna feed out of. My next hog pen is gonna be a huge feed out pen down through here, and I'm gonna get a big round bulk feeder where I can just auger right out of this into the bulk feeder. That makes any sense later. But I got an IH sticker that goes here. We got to put on there, and then the ones go on the side. Anyway, the wife did an excellent job with the paint. Excellent job with the paint. And that's where that's going to be stored at, right there in the corner of the pig pen. Thanks for watching. Let you in on a little secret on this paint. How did you put that paint on there?
With a roller. I started with a paintbrush, it wasn't working out, so then I used a roller. And it ain't perfect.
That's Rust-Oleum almond white and IH implement red paint with hardener in it. A half an ounce to 8 ounces or a whole ounce of hardener to 16 ounces.
And I used little rollers.
She used a little small, 2-inch rollers with primer, Rust-Oleum red oxide primer. You rolled that too, didn't you? Yeah, that was rolled. She rolled all the big flat surfaces and then come back and touched up the corners and to trim the trim pieces with a brush. But all that's paint with a brush and a roller, believe it or not. Man, it looks pretty good. Matter of fact, it looked damn good. I gave her a big old hug when that thing filled that barrel up with feed. I said, I'm so happy to have that done out the way. But anyway, we are officially finished with this unit right here. Thanks for watching. Rust-Oleum IH Implement Red and Rust-Oleum Almond White. And we went and brought Iron Guard paint, red and white Iron Guard. And she wanted to use a brush and a roller. And that paint was just too thin out of the gallon and out of the quart to do that. So that's why we went back to Rust-Oleum. The Iron Guard was just too thin to roll out and brush out. It just ran everywhere. Anyway, thanks for watching. Paintbrush and roller paint job. Looks damn good. Damn good. All right. Thanks for watching.